Hey guys, I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Marcella.
And we're here today to talk about Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
It's definitely one of the best Star Wars movies, I think.
Oh my god, I love this one so much. It's so fantastic, just all of this. Like, we really love A New Hope, but this one
I feel like there's so many iconic scenes.
There is, and I feel like in A New Hope it's a lot more of like build up because you're just being introduced to the characters and everything. This one, we know everybody and we just hit the ground running and all the things start happening and it's just so awesome.
So right away we open up with a really strange scene actually. I had forgotten about this. We get the Yeti. I think it's the Yeti. I don't think it's a polar bear.
Yeah.
We get the Yeti scene and it's really bad effects. We get where he's like, where Luke is upside down and then he uses the Force and it takes him like a really long time to get his lightsaber.
Unlike Rey.
Yeah. So he gets the lightsaber and he cuts himself off and he chops off the Yeti's hand and it goes flying.
It's not that bad. It could have been a lot worse, but like there's like this close-up shot that they show at the beginning and you just see the Yeti go roar, literally with like his hands and everything.
Yeah. I love how when Han eventually comes, he puts him in the Yeti to keep him warm.
Ew, I know, that was gross. Marcella was like, they have all of these ships in the Resistance base, but why did Han
come and get Luke on like this like creature? He like rides this horse creature thing.
Get this whole really cool scene in the beginning of the movie when it's like this fight scene and you see a lot of the war between the Empire and their rebel base, and oh, I love Darth Vader's entrance.
The music swells up. I feel like his mask looks different than in A New Hope. It looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's shinier in this
It's
one.
shinier. It's shinier and it's not as like, because at a lot of points in A New Hope you can like see through it a little bit and it's just better.
Yeah, I think that in this one, Darth Vader's in it a lot more.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you know what's funny is every single time you watch this movie, even though you know everything that's going to happen, he still brings, like, his presence is so strong in these movies that he still brings, like, this fear in you. It's like, oh my god. It's so strong.
I really love how we get to see Han and Leia's relationship in this one a lot more.
OTP, I just love their banter so
And she calls him a scoundrel.
Oh, when she calls him a scoundrel? Oh my god. I love their music too when it plays and then he like corners her and he's like, you're trembling.
It's so cute because he's just like there and it's like, oh, it's like, just kiss already. And finally they do. And it's like, yes.
And then C-3PO interrupts them.
Damn you, C-3PO.
But that kiss scene is so beautiful and just everything about it. It's just like so much sexual tension.
Everything about their relationship.
This even they tell him like when they go on the Millennium Falcon and she says like she's like, you don't need to impress me, you don't need to do this before they're going into like the asteroid and then Han says he's like, never tell me the odds. It's just like,
oh yes.
Love the chemistry between Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford, like the two of them. I don't know if you guys have ever read like Carrie Fisher's book, but in it she talks about Harrison Ford and the two of them. Oh my god. We only see the Emperor once in this movie, I'm pretty sure, and it's when you see Vader, he kneels to them and he goes, what is thy bidding, my master? And he
I'm
tells
surprised
him,
that you only see him once actually.
Yeah, and he tells him about, oh, he's the offspring of Anakin and and then he's like, how is that possible? But at that point, wouldn't he know that he was manipulated? I think that's always interesting. Like at that point, obviously Padme was alive to give birth. And we always love Yoda in this one.
Puppet Yoda!
He's the puppet, but he's very wise. When you first meet him, he's a little crazy. He's like, he's lost his mind.
Yeah, it's really interesting with Yoda because in the prequels, he isn't a puppet, and in this one he is, and he's really wacky at first. I mean, I guess because he's been hidden for so many years, so
yeah, he's like eating their food, and he's like talking about.
He's like laughing.
He's like telling himself like, oh yeah, I'll take you to Yoda.
Yoda, follow me, you will.
Like it's so funny. Yeah. But we love Yoda obviously, so I love that you get to see him training Luke in this one, and the way he makes him train with like the handstands and like using like the Force all around him.
It's intense stuff.
It is, but before that, when he's trying to convince Yoda when Luke is trying to convince Yoda to train him, he mentions his father and everything. and he talks, and we have a lot of Force ghosts with Obi-Wan in this one as well, but they have like this conversation. Yoda even says he's a powerful Jedi was he. And
so Anakin was supposed to bring balance to the Force, and obviously he didn't.
Yeah.
So now that falls on Luke.
Exactly, but because Yoda and Obi-Wan have seen what the dark side did to Anakin, they're afraid that that's going to happen to Luke, because Luke is his son. It's very interesting because at the very end of the movie, when Luke finds out that Darth Vader is his father, and that whole iconic scene happens, but after that, Luke has this anger inside of him in some ways, and Vader is trying to talk to him. He's like, you have to join me, my son, and he's calling him to him, and Luke is just ignoring him. He's like, Ben, because Ben died, because Obi-Wan died in A New Hope, that kept Luke tied down to the light side of the Force, ultimately.
I feel like he kept him grounded in a way, Obi-Wan,
exactly,
because he was there, and he's a Force ghost, so he can kind of like lead Luke a little bit more, because we were just talking about this, but like, why didn't Qui-Gon come back as a Force ghost? Did they like not think to do that? Because Qui-Gon was just like, peace out,
and he left. Like, he should have been a Force ghost.
And didn't try to help Obi-Wan, like young Obi-Wan or Anakin in any way. I don't know why he wouldn't come back as a Force ghost, because maybe things would have been different. Exactly. He was there trying to lead Obi-Wan and telling him like, listen, you know, Anakin is really doing bad things. He's going down the dark side.
But because Luke has Obi-Wan there to guide him, he's
less susceptible to go to the dark side.
Exactly, yeah. And he says to him, he's like, you know, why didn't you tell me? Like, that's what he's more fixated on. He wants to know, why didn't you tell me that was my father? He's not even paying attention to his father, who's talking to him, you know, and being led to that side.
I feel like a lot of Luke not wanting to go to the dark side has to do with him just not being around the Jedis.
Absolutely,
I think it mostly comes down to him not being raised by them and being away from that world.
He didn't have the Jedi Council to look to. He didn't have that. I love the fight scene at this one. The big fight scene. It is so cool. It's so intense, and
it's so much better than Obi-Wan and Darth Vader.
Yes! We don't see Luke face Darth Vader in the first one. We see that finally at the end of this one, and it's so awesome and so well done. And I love that you see Darth Vader using the Force as he's fighting Luke, and the whole part was that it was a trap and Luke shouldn't have went there in the first place, and he should have just listened to Yoda and Obi-Wan.
Darth Vader would rather have Luke join him. Like that.
Exactly.
He'd rather him join him than to kill him. Like, obviously he tells Palpatine, like, I'm gonna kill him if he doesn't join, but he doesn't want to kill his son. He just wants him to... Darth Vader just wants somebody to rule with him, man.
Exactly.
I volunteer.
Right? Like, he just needed that. He needed that companion with him. He tested the carbon freeze with Han before trying to put Luke in there. Oh my god, that whole scene when they carbon freeze Han Solo.
The I love you.
Oh, the I love you. It's like
between Leia and Han. Oh my gosh, the iconic I love you. I know.
I love it so much. As he's being lowered down, he just gives her this look, and she's just like crying into Chewie. And, oh my god! And then before he tells Chewie, he says, "You have to take care of the princess."
Oh my gosh! And it's like, shut up.
Stop it. So many feelings. Chewie's like crying. Oh my god. I love though the comic relief of having C-3PO making these comments while he's on top of Chewbacca.
I noticed that C-3PO throughout this whole movie actually had all like
funny lines. Yeah. His dynamic with Chewbacca is just hilarious, and R2-D2 too. Like the two of them always talking.
I love them.
Oh, I love them all so much. These characters. But before we get the fight scene we get that giant fight scene with Luke and Darth Vader, they make the audience think that they fought earlier in the movie when Luke hallucinates him, and they have that whole big battle of Luke trying to fight the dark side that's inside of him, and they get this dramatic shot of when he chops off his head, you see Luke's face.
You see Luke's face in the mask, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. Luke is arguing with Yoda and Obi-Wan that he needs to take the ship to go and save Han and Leia. When he's and all of his friends, he's saying, I have to go and everything, and Yoda and Obi-Wan are saying, you know, like, no, you're not ready yet. Before that, they say, you know, that boy is our last hope. And I think it's Yoda who says, no, there is another. We're like,
we literally go,
we go, what? We go, what?
I think that I've always thought that line was talking about Leia.
Yeah, I think that's...
But now I'm thinking maybe that's not true.
I don't know. Or it could have been talking about Anakin, that there is still another one, and that happens in Return of the Jedi. It could have been that, or it could have been, maybe it's Rey. We don't know, you know. I just thought that line was interesting, because I know that George Lucas is not involved with the new trilogy, so at the time that the original trilogy was made, I don't know if they had that story in mind yet.
Probably not.
So
probably not. It's just interesting because it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just when we were watching it, we were like...
But yeah, you're right. It's probably because Anakin, because
I think in the end that they were talking about.
In the end, what happens in the next one.
We love the whole end scene though, when you have Leia and Chewbacca, they're all fighting everybody, and there's just this big war going on when Luke is facing Darth Vader, and oh my god, and I love that Luke senses Leia through the Force. He's like, Leia, and then Leia's like, we have to go back, we have to go get Luke. But their relationship in this movie,
is so weird. Okay, like, I remembered the first kiss. I didn't remember there was another one.
I didn't remember the other kiss.
We actually went back and was like, wait, did that just happen? Like, after they went back and got Luke, when Luke is like laying there, Leia is like taking care of him and just kisses him like casually and then leaves, and it's like, what are you doing?
It's really subtle though, and really quick. And we're like, whoa, I didn't remember that one either, but like, oh gosh.
Because I feel like at that point when he called to her, she should have been like, felt that connection, like they were connected in some way, like they're
through siblings. Yeah.
And I don't know.
The relationship was really weird, honestly. And my dad was telling me, I was like, why do you think that they did this? And my dad was like, because George Lucas probably didn't know that he was going to make them siblings until Return of the Jedi. Let me know if you guys, what do you guys think of that? Do you think that that's true?
It would make sense.
Because their relationship was very weird. He tried to work this like triangle between them. It didn't work out. Yeah. But it was just
his mind.
It was just like awkward. We love this movie so much. Yes. And I definitely agree. I think the best scene is definitely the fight scene with Darth Vader at the end. And then I love all the scenes though between Han and Leia. I
feel like there's so many like great scenes in this movie though.
So
like the fight scenes are just so great. This is definitely one of my favorites.
It's a favorite for sure.
So let us know your favorite scenes down in the comments below and what you thought of this movie, and yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And then next week we will be doing Return of the Jedi, which is another great one.
And yeah, so if you enjoyed this review, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more Star Wars reviews.
You can also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat. We're at City of the Feels.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye!